No?
Hello and welcome back. That episode 67.
I try to have a good time around here.
No, don't worry, I know. Of the Dolecast. Very special episode this week because we have a very special guest in the podcast. An F1 sports commentator. I haven't built this off. We have Yasmin here with us today.
Love.
Who was recently in Bahrain.
I was, yes.
Or Busan, if I refer to it. It's
Or Busan.
simply
Bahrain.
Bahrain?
Bahrain.
I've been saying Bahrain.
For the testing.
Pre-season testing?
Pre-season testing of the F1 races.
Bro, do you want to just say what you were there for? Because
Yes, so I was there for pre-season testing for the Formula 1 Championship this year. So, yeah.
love.
Pretty good.
DHL championship competition winner.
Commentator challenge winner with DHL, yeah.
Love.
Very good.
Do you know what? This is going to be so informal in comparison to this. We were watching some of the stuff that you were like interviews and stuff, just for like
Research purposes.
yeah. And I was just like, this is like so informal in comparison. It's just like get the bra sound effect out and just like get the John Cena. Oh, there you go. You know, love. But yes.
I will have cut the intro in by now.
Okay, so it's over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a wee hello. The formalities at the start.
Nice. Thank you. But no.
Yeah. So how did you
Should we just
come across this competition?
Well, mainly, like, I just follow anything Formula 1, like, all the time. So I follow, like, DHL because they're the main, like, partnership for Formula 1. They just had this competition open for, like, you just literally, like, they have fastest laps. The fastest lap I commented over was George Russell in Brazil.
Yeah.
I'm sure you both watched
yes.
that
Yes.
race. Yeah.
I actually did think that was a big good lap to commentate
Yeah,
over.
it was a great lap, yeah.
It's funny I said the same thing.
Did you?
Yep.
Fast lap, boys.
Mm.
So yeah, I commentated over that. And
When was this? Like, would you roughly say?
I'm gonna say it was ages ago. I would say April time. Like it was
Of last year?
Yeah, it was like a long ass time ago. So I did it. Like
And then you forget about it.
I
and
did
it's
it like 2 a.m. one night, not expecting anything.
Serious?
Yeah.
Just like off the cuff?
Yeah, off the cuff, I was like, I'll send
You
it.
may as well, I think.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect to win.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
And then like I got an email. I woke up one morning and I got an email. I was like, "Hi, we've been trying to contact you. Can you like look at the past emails?" And they were all in my junk file.
Oh,
And it was like I could have like missed winning.
that's when
Yeah.
Henry Cavill not getting Superman because he's playing Warhammer stuff there. Like, that's.
Yeah, so it was all in my junk file, and I was like, yeah, can you send us in like another commentary? I think it was for Max Verstappen in Spa,
Oh, it's Spa, yeah.
which I'm actually going to this year. I'm going to Spa.
Hmm?
Going to Spa as a fan though, not a
Oh,
commentator.
okay, fair.
okay.
But that'll be
Yeah.
nice, though. I mean,
Yeah.
totally
You can
different
just, you can
experience.
still just commentate in the
I'm
crowd.
gonna like film stuff I'm out there anyway.
Do you still have your you still have your DHL pass? You have to give that back?
I still have the paddock pass and stuff like that.
We were
Walk through.
We were watching the
That's what I'm
vlog.
saying.
We were watching the vlog before we came in. The coolest thing was like when you put the thing on, your face
My
popped up
face
on the
pops
screen.
up.
You have to take
Yeah.
that, just like.
Well, like it's like because it says like before Bahrain, so I could just like fucking walk
Ah,
up to any
yeah.
F1 circuit. But yeah.
They misspelt Spa. Let me in. Nice. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe a different experience, but it's definitely enjoyable. I don't think I've ever been to Formula. I was gonna go one time. I was like 3, and then I was decided.
You just cancelled?
They were decided that was the powers that be decided that I would not go. Would I have remembered it? No. So
You'd
probably-
rather go when you're like actually functioning, like your brain works.
when you wake up, when you're actually
when
like
you wake up.
when you hit 6, and your conscience is just like, oh yeah, you're alive now.
Everyone
It's like,
locks their conscience at 6 years
it's
old.
like 5 or 6. You know,
Yeah.
I think it's that P1 stuff. When you wake up, and just one day you're just like, I'm P1 mid. The next day you wake up, you got like taxes and stuff. And you're just
Yeah.
like, not me though.
You avoid taxes.
For the IRS, that's a joke. The IRS don't even. That's no, they're not gonna ask.
Waffling did.
Lord have
Oh, sorry. I just had to refresh myself what one of the songs was.
He's
there.
dead, isn't he?
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Yes, he is dead.
From busting too hard.
R.I.P. Leslie.
Bus
We're
anyway.
thinking about you, Leslie.
Yeah,
today.
he passed away at the wheel of his car.
Do you have a stroke and just like
Don't say it like that.
Yeah,
It's awful.
R.I.P. But anyway, we're here to talk about F1, not Leslie. So,
well, technically, a lot. You know,
Yes.
a lot more people
Don't put
probably
Les-
passed away at the sit in the wheel of their car in the F1. Like,
do not put Leslie in on the flip.
that's what he says to me. He says, "Should we have a bit where we just like go through the most brutal crashes in F1 history?" And I was like, "It's like no,
Have you got like an hour?
that's awful. That's actually awful."
Top
Here's
10.
the clip of the week.
Both his legs lost. Anyway,
But yeah,
love.
who, like, when you got there, how quickly was it until you started, like, seeing people that, like,
Immediately.
obviously, like, straight away?
Immediately. As soon as I walked into the paddock, I saw... do you know the drivers on the grid at all?
Oh,
Yeah, some of them like.
every single one. Not really. Wow, you know a fair few.
Well, I walked...
Is the paddock just like a hangout area for them, or is it like?
A paddock is basically where all the teams, like all their hospitality stuff, where teams members will go in to get into the garages. So it literally is like you're right there on the track.
The Disneyland of F1.
Yeah.
Basically, because I just walked in,
It's a small course.
walked in,
It's okay.
didn't expect to see anyone for a while. I turned to my left and there was Nick DeVries. He was like talking to I think it was his like trainer and stuff. And I walked up a bit further and then there's Charles Leclerc. He's like doing like an interview. And I'm just trying so hard not to.
Are you doing
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
at this point, or are you just like walking about like you're?
Yeah, it's like.
So you could have walked over hypothetically and been like,
Hi. Well, I didn't get a chance to speak to Nick DeVries because he was like in the middle of talking to someone, and Charles Leclerc was in the interview, so I didn't get to be like, "Hey, I'm Yasmin. I'm this random girl here." But yeah, it was so insane because.
I would have said like you're someone's daughter, like you're someone's big daughter.
Because like everybody there is there for a reason. So they had like all these like rich people who were like run the streaming and like the media and stuff.
Guy? You always see him describe the American guy that like the white American guy. His son races for one of the. He is like the quintessential supervillain of F1.
Oh, Lance Stroll, like Lawrence Stroll.
I think so, yeah.
He's like Canadian.
Yes.
For Aston Martin.
Just that guy, man. He gives
a Bond villain. Like.
He gives me just like Disney villain vibe for like just like I'm gonna ruin the race, you know, just like Mr. Burns.
Put banana peels in one of the corners.
Car. Can we talk about quickly how brutal Cars 2 is? You know, Cars 2 has
Cars
more
2,
deaths than The Shining.
What?
That's the actual fact. Look up the Cars 2 death. Jimmy, pull that up. Cars 2. Sam, can we just quickly shout out producer Sam today.
This is this week's producer. We shouldn't put you on every
We
single week.
roll him in. We've had two producer Ryans. We've had producer Sam. Yes, and then bring up The Shining kill count after. Cars 2 is brutal, man.
Good film, like.
Cars 2. Does anyone die in Cars 1?
Been a hot minute.
Doc Hudson dies off screen. If you want to count
Like
that.
it's pop. How many deaths in Cars 2? Sorry to take away from you.
I think it's a kill count of 2. Cars 2 has a kill count of 18.
18.
Looked 18 kill counts, yeah. That's PG.
PG, like.
PG.
I think probably you, yeah.
It's and do you know most of those happen like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, when Finn McMissile
goes in,
because he got that gun on the side, and he blows up a barrel, I think, and then it goes down, and then like it blows up like a series of cars, and then they also like kill some.
Also Michael Caine.
Yeah, Finn McMissile. They
What a random cast.
No, sorry to completely take away. I just remembered how absolute brutal. Like because there's a part where they're at the races and they've got that Italian car, and they're like, I don't think people talk about it. Like, shit, this is a kids' film. You know what?
What's his name?
Who?
The Italian car.
Chico Ramone or something.
Give it to F.
Chico Ramone.
Just don't know
Fernando or something?
Jimmy Italian car cars.
Fernando.
It's got if it's Italian
F something.
If it's
something
Chico Ramone,
The yellow one?
No, he's like a red,
Ferrari.
white, and green one, isn't he?
Because he always goes, there's nothing better than Ferrari.
Oh, here.
Get a Cars 2 here.
Is it for Francesco Bernoulli?
Francesco, it is. It's
Francesco.
Yes, okay, yeah.
Francesco.
Bernoulli.
Yeah, okay. Well, Chico Ramone also could be.
Chico Ramone, like.
Chico Ramone could be one minute.
I just fell out of
He missed out on the
Out of thin air.
Chico Ramone.
Chico.
Ramone, lads.
I'll be sending Disney an email.
Copyright. Anyway, sorry.
Chico Ramone.
No.
The most zesty car in the course.
Wait, is Ramon not one of the cars in the lowrider? Is the purple one? These green.
Probably.
Sorry, Sam, to get you pulled up.
You may as well just keep the cars
And it's-
Wikipedia open.
Chico Ramone cars.
No, it's not a real character. I think Ramon is a character. If there's any Cars head listening,
There's definitely a remote.
Low
Ramon is like
Ramon's
the purple
character,
guy. They get the you know that?
Like when they pull up behind. Is it the purple one?
No,
Yeah, Ramone.
yes,
He's
okay.
got the flames in his
Yes, he's cool.
Who is Chico?
It's Chico Ramone.
He's Chico Ramone. Google.
Is that X-Files?
Lord.
Sorry.
If you,
17 buttons of like.
you completely missed the
Yeah,
X-Files. Wait, say it
Who
again.
is Chico Ramone?
Sorry. Okay, sorry.
I'm gonna get a car and call it Chico Ramone.
Mate,
just for the fuck.
Chico Ramone
Write
does.
it off straight away.
That's what I think of your idea, Aaron.
19th death.
Off
of
Kid Hill.
Cars 2.
It's like Herbie when it comes alive.
Chico Ramone does sound like maybe combining chick
Hicks.
hicks.
Instagram for like 300
You're spitting the most car nods. Maybe I can mind Chick Hicks with Ramone the purple
Oh,
car.
of course.
Uh,
Never watched the third one.
Never seen the third one either.
Nah, I haven't met many people. You seen it?
I don't remember.
Surely you of all people must have seen Cars.
I-
You're probably
seen
in the
Cars
third
2.
one.
Yeah, commentating.
Husband's walking about the back. The only human.
Chico Ramone, come on.
Chico Ramone goes round the apex.
Chico Ramone has ran onto the course and he's just now driving. Anyway, sorry.
That's the one where Mater like
Is the spy in Cars 2?
played the DS game of Cars 2.
I've got Cars 2
Aye.
ideas.
Could not get past the level where I was playing the.
This is very
I was
niche.
playing as Holly Shiftwell. Isn't that?
Is that Emily Blunt? Plays her?
Yeah, I told you. You just stay on the Cars wiki.
I should just.
Cars wiki.
If your Cars head's eating good this episode because they're getting there.
There's someone in their light.
What is this episode 60 whatever? And they've had to wait
67 and
nearly
then-
waiting 67 episodes for Cars
someone's,
talk.
someone's sitting in their Lightning McQueen bed.
Their lunchbox.
Spam the comments. It's Ashley.
What's
This.
the character?
Holly Shiftwell, isn't it?
How do you even spell it?
Holly Shiftwell. She's a manual.
Shift the well around there.
She shifted a little bit too well around me there, I think.
Hey.
Way.
Emily Mortimer, apparently.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant. What is...
It's like
Holly Shiftwell played by Chico Ramone.
What?
Bruce Campbell's in Cars 2, apparently.
I hate Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, Daniel's a wee...
You don't like Bruce Campbell?
He's a bit of a...
I have a vendetta against Bruce Campbell.
He's just...
You may hope I don't see him in the street.
Anyway, I was started to completely derail and take away from everything you were saying. But
No, it's fine.
so I think we even jumped in, but like, so when you contacted them after your junk email that you didn't open, are you just like, is it like a selection process and like you're down to the final four or whatever, or are you just like you got it?
Yeah, I think I was down to like the final 3, and if you go on YouTube, you can see people post. I didn't post mine.
Were you looking at them going, I'm better than you?
No, I wasn't doing that. I was looking. There was this one guy who had like literally every Formula One like book you can get and like merchandise behind him. He's like, I should win because.
Did he not get it?
He didn't get it because I couldn't get it. Like if you look up DHL, I
Had a good chuckle over that one.
And he's like Australian. I felt really bad for
That's
that.
right, isn't it?
Do you know what I think it was?
Waving to you from Bahrain.
They'd rather fly someone from around here than Australia.
Yo, hey. My favorite
And also
driver's
you're better.
Australian.
Huh?
My favorite driver's Australian.
Who's your driver?
Daniel Ricciardo.
Oh, I love that. No, I'll tell you who my favorite driver. Guess who my favorite driver is?
I feel like you'd be like a Max Verstappen fan. If I'm being
No,
honest.
I know it, but I just let you guess because I know who it is.
Charles Leclerc.
No, he's a young guy. Well, most of them are young, like, but he's still.
What
60-year-old.
Give me
McLaren. No, yeah, I think he's still
Oscar,
McLaren.
no, Lando Norris.
Yeah, mainly because he's Lando Calrissian. He reminds me like Lando Calrissian. But like,
I
yeah,
met him.
Yeah, I was
that's
gonna
really
say that was cool.
cool. He's my favorite driver.
See, when I saw you, it was with Christian Horner. I was like, okay, she is actually really seeing some people here.
He was
doing
like dead on him.
I know. I was like, sorry, not that I met him, but I was just like, do you know
Yeah, no,
that?
he is, isn't he?
Because I was like, oh, Yasmin's going, but I was like, it's like making a tour of Hollywood and being like, Scorsese's here, Tarantino's here. We've resurrected Hitchcock for you. He's coming about. Do you know what I mean? I'm going like, but you're actually meeting like the actual heads of it. Like, do you just like, do they walk over to you, or do you just like wave them over, beckon them in?
I walked up to them, which was I think the most terrifying thing because I don't want to like they've got fans all the time asking them, but can I get a photo with you?
Yeah.
So just me, like this random like Irish girl, I was like, hey, can I get a photo of you? But do you know you've watched Drive to Survive?
Yes.
You know Will Buxton. He always Yeah. I was speaking to him a lot, and he like gave me some advice before I went to do my commentary. So they were all so lovely.
Yeah.
How long were you in the commentary before? Like, was it for the entirety of the test?
I was only in there for about 20 minutes.
Does it feel longer when you're in there, or does it feel like quick because you're commentating over it?
It was a mixture because I wasn't given any like brief or anything.
Oh really? Just
so basically, because like beforehand, I'd been filming with the DHL people, so I was mic'd up the entire time. So they literally came to. I'd done my filming with meeting everybody and all that for like the DHL video, and then I walked straight into the commentary booth. Sat down. I've got a camera recording me behind. I've got the headphones. I'm listening to the like producer.
There's one as well there, like pointing at you, like from like that angle as well. And there's like,
and then like it's literally just I think just right into it, and they're like, so Yasmin, take it away.
Oh,
shit myself.
No.
I shit myself.
No, why don't you just do it as well?
Is there justification like, well, you won the competition. This is what you want, isn't it?
Do you know what it reminds me of? You said you sent off like a tape. Do you know what it reminds me of? Do you know the BBC New Comedy Awards?
Oh no. Somehow it always returns to the BBC New Comedy Awards.
I've told the story about 6 times.
Do you know this? Again, anytime we talk, sorry to take away from your actual cool story. This is just an embarrassing tale.
I'm ready.
But it's probably to show that he does relate to
I was set up
by the BBC.
It was a bit of false advertising, okay? The BBC had the BBC New Comedy Awards, and there was 3 categories. There was like sketch, there was like just records. It was like record a set and just send it off, right? And I remember messaging Shane Toll and saying, "Is this just like you record?"
Because he was hosting, wasn't he? Yeah.
He was like one of the hosts.
I looked at you as if like you were working on our Sam, but like,
Sam,
and I said to him, there
wouldn't be no Google for that.
I said something like, can you enter 2 categories and you just like literally record it and send it in? And he said something like, I have no idea. I was like, I have absolutely no idea. So I just did it and sent it off. And do you remember me getting into the car with you and like and saying like, you know what, like I can't imagine that loads of people are gonna enter this. Like, you know what, I might have
a wee chance here.
Yeah, I was like, there could be an inkling. Like I just get like the
your luck went to Yasmin completely. Like in the luck gods.
Well,
were just.
I then realised that the people that were winning this were like people that had been doing stand up on the circuit for 15 years, and were sending their clips in that were, let's just say, recorded in front of live audiences.
Oh no.
I was not. And to whoever had the pleasure of saying, oh, Daniel Houston, what's he sent in? And watching me stand up in my bedroom.
With like this behind you.
Yeah, and then you just go.
Was there a green screen you did in front of?
No, just this white wall.
Oh,
I went,
no. Any lights or nothing?
No, literally just that camera and that microphone. I went, hello. And just started.
No laugh track or nothing?
No.
Oh, that's even worse.
It was just like do it.
Do you have that video?
I do have it somewhere. Because you don't remember I found it ages ago, and it was on one of the SDs.
So you wouldn't let us watch that. Would you ever release it like as a parody or something?
Come on.
We can watch it for the 100th episode of the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Because it was just like I saw it and I was like, oh no, because there was no laugh track, so I would just like say the joke and just move on straight away, or like I'd hold for laughter.
Oh no! From the BBC person watching it,
just like,
and it was just yeah, it doesn't matter. It was but yeah, just when you said
you didn't have any face, did you?
Huh?
Your face wasn't shown in your videos, was it?
Not in the commentary one, but I had to do another one where I said why I wanted it.
You can't really do a comedy set audio for him, like.
Yeah, no.
Hello, guys.
That's awful. Anyway, sorry.
No, you're good.
So there, when you get down to that final 3, is that one of those moments where you're just like, I'm not gonna win? So you convince yourself like I'm not winning. So what's the point of even getting excited about it?
Yeah, like I was hyped. I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, because in the email the girl sent me, she was like, hundreds of people around the globe have applied. So I was like, aye lad. Like I know there's 3. Like we're down to the 3, but I didn't expect to win. Then I just like. The story of me when I found out I won was I was like, I went to see one of my old tech shows, right? Because I left tech, and I went to this tech show.
Like a performance, like
like blasted. I was so pissed, so pissed. And I get like an email. I was like, "Can we call you?"
Oh no!
I'm struggling like to even like exist. So like I went outside. I'm waiting for this phone call in like the freezing cold in December, just trying to be sober. So probably on the phone call, like she's like, "Oh, you've won." I was like, "Oh, that's great." But I'm trying not to sound.
That's so good.
I'm not trying to sound drunk. So I probably sounded so like I
articulate for some reason.
Like,
that's really class.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited for this opportunity. Just like
it's like that drunk thing where you have to like you speak like an English. You're doing an English exam. You're just like that is exquisite. Thank you so much.
The night I had was quite frankly brilliant, and I cannot wait to see all my buddies and do it again.
And she's like, what? She's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. She starts talking about your night there. I'm having a great night here watching this performance. Like, okay, but so they were like, you won then.
Yeah, you won, and I went back because it was like a live performance. So I had to be silent for like.
Why did you go to a live performance plastered?
Yeah, because it was like going to see like my.
Was it your mates and stuff in it?
Not my mates. It was like I was going to see like my old, basically like teachers and stuff, and it was like. I
hated a full bottle.
I hated tech. So it was just like, I'll go see the show. Funny. It'll be funny with like my friends. Wrong time. We're on time. I don't think I could do that.
Like, so how long were you actually in Bahrain for?
2 days, but I feel like I was there for a week because I did so much.
The amount of stuff you pack in, I suppose, you know.
Yeah, because it was literally I didn't sleep for those 2 days because the flight was like. If you count in the flight from Belfast to London as well, like that's 7.5 hours, plus the time difference.
Plus waiting about the airport and stuff and all that.
Yeah, it was just, so I like, by the time I got to the hotel the first night, I got like 3 hours and I had to be on track for like 10 a.m.
Are you filled with that like adrenaline that doesn't matter? So you're just like, I do whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like I was awake and as soon as I finished my commentary and got in the car, I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm away. Like
I kind of got that. I briefly touch on how me and Yasmin know each other.
Oh yes.
Because it's not just like this is the Belfast Live girl. Because to be fair, Daniel was talking, and a few people actually did like know you, like that he's mates with without saying.
When I told people you were coming on, and they were like, I was like, oh, a girl from here that was doing a commentary at F1 in Bahrain. Yeah. They're like, oh yeah, we saw her like on Belfast Live.
Yeah.
Oh sick.
So it's like we actually, how you do know Yasmin from a little production we did. About 2 years ago now.
Dude, that's been 2 years.
I know. It's coming up in 2 years in October.
Yeah.
Wish it was 20 and I could forget about it. Anyway, do you know what? It's led to a lot of good stuff. But you have to go through the sludge first, I think, to swim through the river.
You gotta wait.
Do you know, no one's ever said that. You gotta go through the sludge to swim through the river.
Do the slurry.
You gotta do it though. Anyway, but it was a filming production. I was directing. I was called the director. Whether I had any input, up to debate.
Did any of us have an input? Like,
no.
Who was that run by?
Should I say? Because it ruins all my chances of working for them again, doesn't it? No, I can't.
Well,
it was
run by like a company?
It was a very well known British.
Okay.
Okay. That's enough. You're gonna give it away.
A British Film Institute, I think. If you
are you serious?
You've just said that.
I know. What is it actually? What's the I stand for?
Who's the British Film Institute?
It was. I know it's a joke, right?
But actually, do you want to work for them again? Does anybody? Yeah.
No, I happily would. Just not under those circumstances.
And but not in the cold.
That was a joke. I'm not an idiot. But it was a British Film Institute of sorts. I doubled down on it.
Podcast title.
No, don't.
British Film Institute of sorts.
You can't say that. If you abbreviate that, I'm not going to give any hints, but if you abbreviate that,
it was the BBC.
Okay. All right. And what I'm saying, the first day, like I was knackered, but we was in. I don't know where it was. It's in Bangor on it. So we had
No, it's Hollywood, you idiot.
It's our podcast. So we drove down. It was like, I drove down every morning. We did it like, we were supposed to only do 3 days. And the first day I'm like, oh, come on, like really good. Let's do it. Second day I'm like, okay, yesterday wasn't great, but we're going to have a good day today. Third day.
Wasn't great either.
Third day, well, we can talk about this after we finish your Formula 1 stuff, because that's what I actually want to hear. I don't want to talk about that. Third day, we're like, not really excited. And then we had to do a fourth day because a lot went wrong.
And we broke their very expensive
We broke their
camera.
Blackmagic 4K Ursa camera.
Love it.
I don't, did we break it or did they break it? For legal reasons, they broke it.
It was the screw came out, wasn't it?
It was
But
a screw came out, and
Was it
one of
either
those.
of you two? Or was
One,
it?
no, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't
like-
us.
was-
I was the actor. I didn't do anything.
I was the director. I didn't touch the camera. It was one of the things where.
The camera operator.
So just Instagram. But no, and then the fourth day we had and the fourth day I was just like, and you'll know, me and Yasmin bonded a lot.
We
in
bonded
these,
a lot.
in these early mornings where Yasmin would be there. I was the only one that drove for some reason, so I drove in. Everyone puddles in, the clown car essentially, and everyone just starts slabbering about the process.
And I
I
remember that one morning. I saw your car. I just like beeline for your car.
Yeah,
I opened it, slammed the door. I was like,
Yeah. It was like the third or fourth day,
Yeah.
and you were very timid in the first day because everyone is the new thing is like, oh, can I whatever. But the third, you just knew where we were at. You were just like,
And where was it going?
what?
This like.
Do you know where this was shown?
It was the one you went to the premiere of, wasn't
It's
it?
the one where my screensaver from, but I didn't see the film.
Yeah, lad didn't even like.
Have you seen it?
relate.
Nope.
You haven't seen the
He
film you
has
directed?
never seen it.
No.
I had to edit some of it, which was just scrapped at the
Why
end.
are you responsible for the editing?
Because with the right, can we talk about Formula One? We'll talk about the rest of this Formula One experience,
We'll do that
and we'll
later.
we'll
Right,
sneak
well,
back in. We'll
yes.
we'll hold you in a cliffhanger there.
Okay.
Got you nice and tight in a cliffhanger there, because I don't want to.
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
that is something like that is a fun thing to talk about. I think there's a lot that went wrong. That the job that went wrong certainly in that, like, because that's a wee reference to my film that won the CAS category. Anyway, that's a gimp thing of me to say, like, isn't it? Probably should unpin that from. It's been there for a while. It's like, do you want
really?
to? Do you want? It's like, do you want to do something else, mate? That's what I get whenever.
Been out of school for 6 years.
Well, I know school didn't care about it.
Yeah, no recognition. No recognition.
Sure. Anyway, back to your recognition.
Yeah.
What
That
was
we never got.
What was your favourite moment? Like when you were actually there, like you were just like was there ever a moment where you were just like, this is like different gravy?
I think the moment it kind of all became real for me was when, because I got the paddock pass, which is basically where all the rich people go. Like it was, I
And I
was
know
so
the
out
one.
of place.
No, a little too well, but the paddock passed myself.
So like you got to go into like one of the spare garages, and you got to be right in the pit lane where the cars go past. And I just remember walking, and you could just hear the engines, just like the rumble.
Yeah.
And then like I was just standing there, and then I just saw Alex Albon. I could tell by his helmet. He had just his car had stopped. I was like, holy.
Are you gonna change it for him? You were just gonna.
Like I was, I was just like looking at him, and like it was really mad. It was mad.
Are you wearing headphones for like when you're on the track to like protect your ears, or are you just like?
No, you're raw dogging that. Yeah.
Is that like is it like piercing, or do you get used to how like loud they are? Or is it still like every time one goes past, you're like that's fairly loud?
Well, it's like they're not as loud as they were like back in like the 90s and early 2000s, like with the V10s and all that. So like they're
eco-friendly now.
Yeah, they're a little more eco-friendly, but it still is like a piercing sound. So, but like no, you don't need you kind of adjust. Although you are like you leave the track and like what?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Nice. Love. Who's your favorite person to meet? As in like,
Probably,
I mean, so it's like two-parter. It's like who was your favorite to meet? Like you wanted to meet, and then who was the nicest?
I really don't have anybody who because I kind of thought I'd meet like some of these people or like drivers or even presenters, and they'd come up a bit like snobby. Or
Yeah.
all dead on, all so dead on. I was really
Anybody
excited.
that wasn't, you want to rat them out.
I was
Live on the Dolecast.
I probably like
Hottest scoop.
probably the nicest person I met was Ted Kravitz, because he actually went out of his way to listen to me live and give me feedback.
Oh, that's nice.
And he was like, like he kind of like, because I just met him as I was leaving, and he was like, listen, I listened, and you did really well. He said you did really well for just hopping in. You have potential. I was like, potential. Oh fuck.
Like, were you sure you were breaking it, like going into the actual? Yeah.
Because like they give you like the champagne that they spray on the podium, which is really nice. So before I did,
did you get to shake it?
No, I didn't get to shake it. But before I went,
the point?
What's it all mean?
Before I went to actually do my commentary, I went in, had a couple glasses.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, okay, I'm set.
Yeah.
Liquid.
Seems to be a lot of themes you, Yasmin.
I swear I'm not an alcoholic. I actually promise
Seems to be
I'm not.
when they give me at 2 a.m. in the morning. You didn't reference whether you were drunk or not.
I wasn't drunk. I was at home.
I recorded the video. I recorded drunk. I received the call. I got it pitched. I went in the recording. See if you watch that recording back. I
swear.
I'm in the world of my own.
Where I am.
I'm calling people the wrong names. I'm calling them Chico Ramone.
I'm a Chico Ramone.
Is that Chico Ramone?
It's like it's Lewis Hamilton.
Chico's had a good year. I certainly hope he's going to do better than last year. They're all going.
How mad would it be? DHL fly this girl out, right? Fly this girl out to Bahrain. They get into the box and they go,
out of 100.
here comes Chico Ramone around the corner. And they're all Chico Ramone.
What?
But you're adamant, like he is
like,
coming around the
What do you mean?
corner.
It's Chico,
Like,
come on.
like I hope, like Chico needs to fight to keep his seat this year. You know, all this blah blah. They're going. Some people are. You hear like shuffling in the back. People like checking. Like, is there a Chico Ramone in the corner?
Who is Chico Ramone?
Followed by the X-Files.
There is a guy called his name is Sergio Perez, but people call him Checo. So imagine if I like went in instead of saying Checo, I was just saying Chico now.
And then you got Ramone out of nowhere. You're just like
Chico Ramone.
You just pick a driver and call him Chico Ramone.
You got his jacket, didn't you?
That was lethal.
George Russell. I got George Russell's jacket. I was gonna wear it today, but I thought it was a bit extra.
Yeah, no.
If you go back there, we could have hung on and capped it.
Yeah. Because they
that
were
priceless memory. Yeah.
A part of our guests we always like to bring on is we like to keep a bit of themselves well. So we ask them for the most valuable clothing item, and then we just hang it up on the wall, like on a nail, like not even. Sorry.
Because they were doing a lot of Las Vegas promotion. Oh, nice. So you would just see people.
That's a new
thing, isn't it? Yeah. That's why they're promoting it at the moment. So they like I don't even remember who gave it to me. That's the thing. Like, because one of the girl who was with me the whole weekend, who was a part of DHL, she knew somebody who was on the set for filming the
Drive to Survive?
Las Vegas stuff. Okay. Yeah. Although I did see the.
Did you see the Drive to Survive scene?
See the Drive to Survive people? They're sneaky. Because
I can imagine. Yeah.
Very like, is it like kind of like hidden documentary-esque? Like they were like in the shadows.
Because like I was sitting somewhere, and like behind me there was, I think it was I can't even remember who it was. But like they just have their microphones like can just over people. Yeah.
Oh really? Just
over anyone. Like they try and catch everything.
Is the vibe that like
everything's being recorded,
yeah, especially as a driver. Be careful what you say and where you're walking and who you're with.
I think more now it is like see at the start of Drives to Survive, like they were still sneaky with it, but like nobody knew.
Nobody, yes. Yeah, but now they're looking out for the people going. Where are they?
Yeah.
I imagine that is probably one. Sorry, I imagine that is one of the worst editing rooms to be in. Just raw footage of just like 20,000 hours of just like skimming through to find something good, because a lot of it's probably just like and the lap 2 he was good, now he was coming around and you're waiting for him to be
Chico Ramone.
you're waiting for somebody to be like I'm gonna tear him apart. That's what you want those 2 little seconds.
Imagine me I don't know, like just we got this rumor and so good to the point there's an episode
we fabricate Chico Ramone in Formula 1.
Who's Chico Ramone?
There's an episode, who is the Chico Ramone?
You're like John Pork, like we just convince people he's real.
Like, he doesn't have to be a person, but he could be like a title that the drivers have to who is this year's Chico
to live
Ramone?
up to the legacy of Chico. Okay, so that's probably easier because he's not actually currently driving, but he's a legend.
Chico Ramone come on the corner.
Screw Ayrton Senna, fucking Chico Ramone.
He's 5 seconds off beating Chico Ramone's best lap. Like,
gentlemen, the new Chico Ramone.
Lewis Hamilton is only 20 wins away from beating the all-time world champion Chico Ramone. Chico Ramone. It's so stupid. Oh, it's awful. Anyway, sorry. That jacket, you just have it lying about.
Yeah, it's just in my closet. Yeah. Love that one. I wore that all the way home.
Theoretically.
Right. What?
How much is that jacket worth?
Because George Russell wore it, probably a lot. But like, no one's gonna believe me though.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I mean,
that's the one thing.
Do you have any proof that he wore it now?
in the promotional videos he's got on, yeah.
And then you followed by you taking it, followed by
You
the
just see
picture of
me
you on the
sitting-
track wearing it, and then you go, that's enough. Are they limited edition jackets? Like, are they?
They're not sold anywhere. They're just for
promotion.
the promotion. I'm pretty sure.
I'd say that's
Is that like a 101?
I think so.
Oh,
They have like
yeah.
there's
one
only
I
that
have-
jacket made.
no, they have the one I have is it's got like green on it, and then they have like red for like the Ferrari drivers and like purple for I think purple. They had like different ones. So there's different jackets, but I think
like
I've
that
got
one
like
you've got is like probably like
I think so. There's probably there maybe like a couple of them,
Yeah.
but
You whack that
there's
up on
not
Depop, like.
many like.
30 quid.
Like, do you know when you see
eBay.
people on Depop, they're like £9,999. It's like, don't buy this. You're just like, that's the actual price. There you go.
Yeah, they're that.
10 grand for this jacket. Signed by Chico Ramone.
So,
Poor crack, like, for me.
oh, you've also started a podcast?
Love.
I did.
Closing the Gap, isn't it?
Yeah, closing the gap. It's
CTG.
Love.
That's what that is that
Yeah.
So closing the gap is with my friend Lewis Bassendale. He actually we started talking because he saw me on TV, and then we started talking because he wrote an article like a
Oh, really?
piece on me for his university.
Oh,
So we started that because we want to like talk about more females in motorsport, because you don't see a lot of females being
It's
talked
actually
about.
one thing my mum said. She was like, it's actually great because, you know, a lot of women are coming through now. And I was like,
Bless your mom.
It's like-
Now, here's a question. Is Chico Ramone a male?
that's a male. I'm sorry. Yeah. His like
Chico though.
his
Is it
legacy.
Chico
Dan,
Chica.
look at him in the 1973.
But it could be like the Stig in Top Gear.
No.
Takes a couple, and it's a female. It's like Chico Ramone.
See, I mean, hey, to be fair, we never really did see their face.
Yeah.
So we'll go by they them pronouns for now. So
I was gonna say he's a non-binary.
yeah, man, Chico. Do you know what I think?
Non-binary Chico
Do you know what I
Ramone.
think the great thing about Chico Ramone is? It's like Spider-Man. Anybody could be Chico Ramone.
Anyone can anyone can don
Anyone
the
could
mantle.
down the mantle. Yes.
Yeah.
Messiah, Chico. Ramone.
We're all Chico Ramone. And
Deep-
Chico Ramone's all of us as
Chico,
well.
Chico Ramone binds us,
mentality.
penetrates us, and holds the galaxy together. You know what I mean?
Chico Ramone penetrates us. That's the
Get that on a
description.
t-shirt.
And that's why they don't really mention him anymore.
Yeah.
To be honest, after the lot.
Such like
Chico
a predator.
Ramone has been.
The Chico Ramone 86 lawsuits. Hit that one.
Chico Ramone was
That's
on the
bad.
island.
Oh no.
Hey.
Chico Ramone was on Epstein's flight list.
Chico Ramone was there.
From Monaco.
Clinton,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. Chico Ramone.
Chico Ramone.
And people are like, they just gloss over it because they don't know who Chico Ramone is. They're like, oh, you see the creator of The Simpsons was on there, oh, blah, 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 blah. Chico,
Is that Matt Groening?
Fuckers
Chico Ramone. They go over, they just think, is Chico Ramone like a typo or something? Is he working the island or something?
Can
Anyway.
you call this episode Chico Ramone?
yes, it is.
Oh, is it called Chico?
Chico Ramone, Yasmin. Yeah.
Okay.
Yasmin meets Chico Ramone.
Yes, it's gonna be. Who's that? It's Epstein's Island. Who's that going around the corner?
It's Chico Ramone. And he's running from the law.
Yeah.
Quickly,
Down the back
quickly, I
street,
sent you a video on TikTok. There's a video on TikTok, and it is insane. Speaking of Epstein's Island, it is insane. That's always a good little cutaway. When I look into
Speaking of
when I look into
Epstein's
the camera and go,
Island,
speaking of Epstein's Island, there's a guy who snuck onto it, like
I see that.
like GTA heist, snuck onto it. Just run about, run from cars, swims out. His mate picks him up on a jet ski, and he just drives off. I was Chico Ramone. He was going to clear Chico Ramone from the flight logs.
Chico was picking back in to make sure there was no data on him.
Oh
They
no!
never catch him in the video because they're in cars. He's
I know. Hey mate, Usain Bolt, that sir.
Chico Ramone's the fastest man.
Chico Ramone's the dibba. Mate, yeah, I can't believe
Chico Ramone's the Flash.
we speaking about. We speak like he's done everything. Like Chico Ramone was the first man on the moon. They don't document it. They don't.
Well, they just didn't put it in.
He was like he was like the fourth man on
Buzz Aldrin.
the Apollo 11.
Neil Armstrong. Chico Ramone. Who's that going around the corner?
They did on the moon. They don't like to mention it because he was Italian, or they were Italian, but like, you know, they want to have the all-American plus Chico Ramone.
All Americans
It's just so, it's just, I think it's probably the stupidest bit we've had in a while. Like, good crack. Anyway,
I can give that to you.
thank you for that. Talking about cars too. But no, anyway, we were saying about your podcast, sorry.
Yeah.
We're talking about, do you know what's awful? Because we're talking about like the fact that there need to be more and more women in the F1 industry, and I've just completely derailed it by talking about Epstein's Island. Sorry about that.
Women in motorsport. Epstein.
Oh no! It's the link. The Chico Ramone's the link between the two.
Yeah.
Chico Ramone is the glue.
The glue that holds women in
So I said he
motorsport,
binds us and
Epstein.
holds the galaxy together.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Back to your podcast.
So yeah, started a podcast speak about females in motorsport.
Link in
They-
description.
Yeah, link in the description. It was only like the first episode, so
I know.
we'll
We're just
get
closing the
there.
gap on Apple Podcasts and YouTube.
Apple and YouTube, we're gonna get on Spotify as well. But yeah, because there's been a new category for women called the F1 Academy. So and we right. See, if you're watching motorsports, right?
Yep.
You want to watch the entire race, don't you?
Yeah.
They only show the highlights. They don't live stream it the whole
The
race.
woman's one.
Yeah, they don't do that. So I'm like,
It's per character.
yeah, and they don't really promote their drivers, like Drive to Survive and shit. You get like you know the
Is there not a female category Drive to Survive? No, it's all just
no.
the male.
So you have like F1, F2, F3, and you have had some women in F2 and F3, but a lot of people don't invest in women drivers because they're not going to get a return in their investment because they're not going to make it to Formula One.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted
Has
to
there
do
ever been a
podcast.
Formula One driver, like a female driver in F1?
There's been like we had Susie Wolf who did like like practice sessions and stuff, and I think we had one do like a race or two, but never anything
Like a committed
like,
driver in a seat the
never
first season.
anyone in the full season. No, so that's why we're trying to get with the F1 Academy. Hopefully, we get more women up the ladder to Formula One.
I mean, they could just do like Drive to Thrive or something. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? You've got Drive to Survive and you've got Drive to Thrive. That's the one.
Drive to Thrive.
Because they're thriving.
If Formula One fans watch this, I am praying for you
out for
tonight.
it.
man.
Drive to Thrive, hosted by Chico Ramone. It's on your podcast, yes,
Yes, I have.
with your friend
have.
Lewis.
Lewis, yes.
Have you ever met Lewis?
Not in person, no.
Nice.
But
You
I've seen his face shit and we've spoke like online. So
Sorry. I just imagine he says he's like a stock image of somebody. It's like, this is me.
it's like 2 pixels. It's like
It's like one of those dad selfies. Like,
Sent a photo of Dwayne Johnson. Like, yeah, that's what I look like. And you obviously talking about women in motorsport and stuff like that. And
are you doing like race analysis as well, or is it like
yeah.
what are the topics you do?
So because it's like a new podcast, like we want to speak about obviously the F1 Academy and other different categories like IndyCar and WEC, which is the World Endurance Championship as well, and other categories with women in as well. Because like everyone always talks about Formula One, you don't hear about the other categories. So yeah, just trying to widen people's
Is
perspectives.
it weekly, or you just try it whenever you can?
We're gonna try and do it weekly.
Good luck. This podcast has been going for like 5 years. We're on like 67.
Well, that's most podcasts last like 2 eps.
True, it's fair.
better pedals.
Oh no.
Yes, go and.
That's perfect. What's the All Good in the Hood with my hood or whatever it is?
What's good? Podcast?
What's good podcast
All
without
good in the hood. No, yes, go and watch Yasmin Lewis's new podcast, Closing the Gap.
Thank you very much.
And the link will be in the description.
Love that one. As well as probably when we post it on Insta and stuff.
Yeah.
Love.
Thank you
Check the
very
links
much.
in the bio. Nice. Oh my god, this seat! I hate this seat.
Do you want to swap?
No.
We're gonna
You trapped in
invest in
this
some new chairs.
We probably could invest maybe some a
Or
lot of stuff first.
We'll see what we can say.
Well,
Like.
this is the Dolecast, you're hardly going to get premium chairs. Like
That's the good excuse, isn't it? It's just like
chair.
I know.
Fits the
I
colours.
know you like that chair.
You know.
It's like I could bring a chair from my house, but I'm not going to. Imagine every week wheeling up. All right, John, just wheeling up the chair.
Should we discuss the filming?
I was about to say, is there anything else you want to talk about from your Formula One trip?
There's
loads, like I
loads,
imagine,
like,
but
well, I'm going to be going to Belgium and Spa, so I'll be recording my experience there, and I might be in Las Vegas.
is that something you can or can't talk about? You don't have to if you don't want to. We can cut it out.
I'll do like I might be in Las Vegas for promoting a car.
That's very good. But you know what the coolest part about that is? That you sure can or can't talk
Yeah.
about that. That's very cool.
I
So it's
can't. I'm
You
not
like a little bit of an NDA? You like it?
Remember I got an NDA for Dairy
Dairy
Girls?
Girls?
Just spoke
You
about
told
it
everybody?
constantly.
I got Dairy. Like the second you.
It's not my private, but
Mate,
30 seconds.
And you got it when you were potentially offered the part, but not even when you got it. You were like, "Oh, I'm a Dairy Girls."
Yes.
So that's. I don't want to pressure you to talk about that, but that's interesting. I like that.
Yeah, well, you'll be seeing a lot more from me.
Dolecast exclusive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fit it to Belfast.
They're gonna Belfast Live are gonna write it,
no,
and they're gonna be like
no.
from this point that like we get they bring up like a screenshot from the Dolecast like 4608 whatever.
New car and new driver Chico Ramone.
I'll be going over to promote Chico Ramone's new car, the Chico Martin. Just something random.
Chico Martin. I didn't ask about the Chico Martin.
BM Ramone.
Doesn't make any sense.
The new V10.
The
Chico
Land
Martin.
Ramoner.
It's just so stupid. Like.
The Audi A Ramone.
Nobody knows if Chico's dead or he's alive. Still, they still talk. Some people talking about him like he's a legend. Some people talking about he's still racing.
Like a ghost
Maybe
on the track.
like the mantle. He's like James Bond. Like the mantle of Chico Ramone has been passed down through generations.
I love that. There's a new Chico Ramone
There's a
every
new,
season.
who would you like to see cast as the new Chico Ramone?
Who would be this season's Chico Ramone?
That's not a real question.
No, it is because
he's not.
Because you know the best thing is you don't know the you don't know the characteristics of who
He's not
Chico
a real
Ramone is. You don't know the
It
characteristics.
doesn't make any
And
sense.
all the info we have on him was that he was on Epstein's Island. That's all the info.
So
No.
who do I think is basically
No.
a predator?
No. Scrap the.
F1.
No. It was confirmed that it was confirmed that those were fake. The Chico
Fake
Epstein.
allegations.
I'm speaking as
His
Chico.
name was in the books, but we don't think.
No, as Chico's lawyer and close friend, I was saying that it's not that it's. I know Chico, and I don't think he would do that. But I mean, he's been paying me to say that. But Chico Ramone's like a legend of Formula One, I would say. So, are we really gonna ask Yasmin?
Who is this season's Chico Ramone?
This season's Chico Ramone. Well,
Why you're saying so professional?
this season's Chico Ramone. And his name is John C.
Who would you say is the GOAT, the Chico Ramone of F1?
Well, Max Verstappen's on a flyer this season.
Verstappen, Chico
Or
Ramone.
Checo Perez. His teammates catching up behind
Checo,
him.
I like the idea.
They have a
of
wee
Checo.
bit of a rivalry, don't they? Or is that?
They do, because Checo has a lot of pressure on him because we have Daniel Ricciardo waiting in the wings for him, so waiting to steal his seat.
Ricciardo seems to be, but like the Formula One mattress, he seems to be going about everywhere.
He should have, he's had a rough
Every
couple of
season
years
of
there.
Drive to Survive, when I catch up on, he's like, "Oh, I'm in the new team now." I'm like, "You were just there."
Well, he's not in the seat this season, sadly.
Oh, I know. Is that the rest that he's like potentially not racing next year?
Well, there's rumours at the moment because Nick de Vries, he's not doing very well at the moment, and there was rumours that Daniel Ricciardo was at AlphaTauri's factory getting a feet fitted.
Get a foot massage?
A seat fitted.
Oh.
So people think, he might be coming for Nick de Vries, taking a seat.
Sorry.
Chico Ramone is
I
hilarious.
was just thinking, like, the one place you don't want to be is Chico Ramone's factory. Just like it's in my
Don't want to
head.
hit Chico
It's
Ramone's
in-
factory, like.
It was saying Chico Ramone was getting a foot massage at
Such a crazy concept.
Daniel
There was-
Ricciardo's factory.
Such a crazy concept that like there was this Formula One driver that was like so good, and then like
Yeah.
Epstein was like, let's fly him over
He'll
here.
hit the island, lad.
Yeah, that's good.
I hate how we ourselves have ruined his legacy.
In like the span
They-
of 5 minutes. Like,
Their legacy, sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. I was get cancelled for that.
I can't wait for the day they finally take their helmet off and
it's me.
reveal.
It's
I am Chico
Yasmin.
Ramone.
I would
It's like
explode.
Spartacus. Like we all stand up. Like, well, I am Chico Ramone. Like, what is going on here?
You know that scene in The Flash where it's just like, we are Chico Ramone.
I am. The Groot comes out. I am Chico Ramone.
We are Chico Ramone.
It's just the dumbest. I'm sorry for even agreeing to do this.
We're all sitting, we get some like really big
We have Yasmin on, who's been this really cool thing, and this whole opportunity, and we have spent the entirety of it
So we-
talking about this
The
fictional
four of
F1
us-
driver.
The four of us are in like a life-threatening situation, and Chico Ramone's there surrounded, and their arms start to grow. And I turn to Chico and I grab him, I grab him and I say, Chico, no, you'll die. And
Chico, no.
And they turn to we are Chico Ramone. And we explode.
Oh no!
And I pick up like a single finger of Chico Ramone.
And you regrow Chico Ramone. Are you gonna say
baby,
that?
baby Chico Ramone.
Baby Chico. Then buff Chico Ramone.
Chico
Yeah.
Ramone.
Crazy.
Oh, dear.
Guardians for like nobody that got that. Anyway, Lethal, by the way,
Great film.
the great film.
Yeah, it's a great film.
Anyway,
Who broke a camera on your film set?
okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we get into the
I think
the
we're
mess?
way past it.
Okay, the mess that was our film on the non-disclosed British Film Institute set, right?
crazy. That's
Some bastard, like.
Crazy
Where
for
do we
me.
even start with
Crazy.
that shit
Do you want to talk? That was a bit of like we also had to do a bit of an audition process for that. Remember that?
did you have to audition?
I wasn't
direct?
there. Like,
No, and the Zoom calls and stuff, like real, like the way, like to get into the program.
oh fuck.
Remember that? Yeah.
Yes.
So it's actually, I can sort of say that I relate to you in that sort of regard of, you know, it's a big. Chico's in the car. I can't stop.
Right, we gotta leave.
We gotta stop.
Chico's
Leave him with the
dead.
F1.
If there's any artists
No.
I'll commission someone to make Chico Ramone
that
merch.
want to just, you know, because I can get a big Chico, Formula One helmet that we can like.
I would love to be in the Dolecast.
legacy.
Yeah.
We get like someone to like, you know, there's like signatures.com or whatever. We get like, is that, I don't know if that's I said like I sound like a boomer. Signatures.com, right? Can you check Sam if signatures.com is a real website? Signatures.com. We get like a fake signature and then we sign something as Chico Ramone and print it out like you get your X-Wing
I got
helmet.
Carlos signs to sign my mum's hat.
Oh,
So I've
cool.
got a signature at home. Yeah.
That's nice. I like that one.
I like that one.
I imagine signatures.com is one of those like
Your signatures.com, your source for in-person sports and celebrity autographs.
I know Chico's on there.
to be fair,
After a scandal.
to be fair,
After, yeah.
one of those guys he never signs folks out in the streets. He always just walks past.
But do you think you could walk past Chico on the street?
You wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
That actually is I think the beauty of Chico. Anyway,
Yeah.
the British Film Institute, that's a placeholder name, by the way. So we had to sign up for this course. Why did you hear about it? It was one of those things where your mum forwards it on, not your mum, but
What's that?
at this point, at your point, mum probably would just forward it on
My
to me and be
mum
like,
loves you,
and I'd be like, thank you so much, Yasmin's mum. I love your mum too. Shout out Yasmin's mum. Is she ever listening to this?
She will be.
Oh, yeah, love. Anyway,
I was going to play like a happy one. I don't think it was very happy.
I think a lot, just like Stephen Nolan Boken, like,
I love that sound.
at the farm. I can't. I've had a good chuckle over that one. Anyway, yes. How did you hear about it?
I think my mum's friend tagged me on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
It's
like,
always.
all right, I'll give it a go.
They're never really advertised. They're always kind of under the belt, aren't they? They're always like.
They are, and then like everyone goes, "How'd you get this?"
Yeah, and you're just like
just on
pot
Facebook,
luck,
like, yeah.
complete absolute fluke. Yeah, I got
You see this photo my mum sent me on WhatsApp? This is like a prime example of like.
of what we're talking about.
Just like, what are you doing?
See, to be fair, I got that and I was like, okay, we'll go for it. I mean, clearly, because
Yeah.
we ended up on the same thing, but like, you know, sometimes I'm just like, I can't bother. But it was one of those ones I was like,
It sounded like really good.
the non-disclosed
Mum sent me
company.
this one day, on WhatsApp. Lies travel faster than the truth.
Show some. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
That's a great. Yeah,
That is brilliant.
I would love to
I mean,
receive
like
that.
that's
from
like
my mum.
that's a background.
It's hard.
That's a background picture for
That's
me.
just
That goes hard.
Thanks, Julian. Appreciate
Anyway,
Shout out the Jillian.
so for the because I saw the company that it was that I haven't mentioned at all. They were like pretty big, and I was like, that's, you know, they like quite at that time had just produced Belfast, the Kenneth Branagh film.
Sorry.
It was I really thought it was awful.
Really?
Filmed mostly
Never
in England.
watched it. Yeah, no. What's that about? Like,
There was like 2 scenes shot in Belfast. It was the start and the end, the very last shots, opening shots. The Key of Hill. It's like the Kenneth Branagh wasn't even there. He probably sent like a second AD or second shoot to go like just go get that. It's fine. Different tangent anyway. We had to do this. You basically just they were like sign up. You're like you have to do that. Like, oh hi, whatever. This is why I'm interested in this. And then like I think it was a couple hundred people signed up for it.
a lot of people did. Yeah.
Yeah, like this in the same sort of way that you're talking about, like you're like hundreds of people around the world, like 100 people from here, like not around the world is there anything. People from Australia sign up to the BFI course. Shut up. I've said what it is.
there
mate.
you go.
I've said what it is.
Oh, there you go.
I've said what it is, and I made my point. I'll make my points very.
No knocks at the door.
Make my points very clear that I think everyone was lovely to work with. I just think that the conditions were a little bit stressful.
What
It
were
was-
the conditions?
Well, we'll get into it.
Yeah, that's getting the nitty gritty.
I think I'm glad that I haven't talked about this before because it would be sound repetitive. But I think that now that you're here and I have someone to back me up on how, like,
Only
how justified it is.
Literally, the only good thing to come out of that whole shit was me meeting Aaron.
Lovely.
Which is like...
Because then, like 2 years later, like a year and a half later, I was like, Yasmin, be in this film. And then we did a film that was actually enjoyable. Sam worked in that film as well. Love that one. Anyway, so, yes, you and Sam and work together. Love that one. Whirlybird, if you follow my Instagram. If you don't.
Check out Whirlybird.
I'm lucky. Probably should put that, we'll probably should put that on YouTube.
Great music and all that. Great music in that film.
Great music in that film.
Amazing
Composed by Sam Holt. Love. We probably should stick that on YouTube. Probably.
Yeah, stick on YouTube.
Love that one. Can't go on McScrimmer Studios because I feel like that's intrusive. Even though my Levers video is on McScrimmer Studios.
I'll make a...
It's the most views of any of our videos on McScrimmer Studios. It's like, keeps us going. Like, we just signed up. They're like, oh, I'm whatever. We got into these Zoom interviews. We're even on mine. I don't think I can't.
You were
remember.
not on mine.
No, I can't.
There was
remember.
like, I don't think anybody from mine like I ever saw again.
I know a few. I don't know a few people. I know of one girl who a mate of mine knows that says she saw me on it, and I went, "Oh, did she get through?" And he was like, "No." I'll tell you why. The difference, and this is such a film snobbery thing, right?
Here we go.
It's also like, at this point, it's such a basic film thing, but this was like 2021, so it was big, but it was more niche than what it was. You'll know what I mean as soon as I start saying what it was. They were like, can anyone name just like their favourite film or like a film they've watched recently? And I was like...
2021?
I was like, that's what I was like. I was like, oh, I just watched Whiplash for like the 5th time because, I hadn't seen like anything cultured at that point. But then
It's a great film.
it is a great film, but it's so overdone now.
I hate that. Like, if it's a great film, it's a great film.
It is a great film. It is a great film.
Yeah.
But I could, I wanted to be like, oh, Back to the Future, because that is my all-time favorite film of all time, right? You can't move that.
Fantastic movie.
But I was kind of going, you're going, what film did I mention here? Because I'll tell you the other one right after. Yeah, I was watching Jean-Luc Godard's Breathless. A bout de soleil, like, shut up. So they were like, oh yeah, it could have been like Back to the Future, and I'm sure that would have been fine. But I was like, well, I watched Whiplash, and the woman there had a heart attack. She was like, oh my goodness.
Is that Karen?
Yeah, I love Karen. Karen's very nice. If Karen's listening, she's very nice. She was like, I have like a million things to talk about with you, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, class, I'm in. And then that same girl that I'm talking about, I don't know her name, so I'm obviously not going to if I can't mention it, but if I did, I'm not going to mention it. Oh, good. Love. The girl was like, oh, I recently watched the third Maze Runner.
Who said this?
The girl that
the girl that
didn't get in.
you.
The girl that didn't get in. She was like, I recently watched the third Maze Runner. And Karen went, I've never heard of that.
Good movie.
I've never heard of it.
It's a fine movie, but like,
And,
better movies
and then
to mention.
I think you have to play your cards. Like, you have to predict what they would have seen. I think it wasn't like, oh, what do you actually enjoy? It was like, what would they enjoy?
Yeah.
So I was going to call like 50 people. I think you were going to call like 50 people. And I think they did like 4 calls with like 50 people.
Yeah.
And then it was whittled down to like 20. So we got through to that. Was it like 20 people? Like 10 each?
It was
like,
a lot of people. I just remember being like,
10 or 20, 30. Yeah. They got through.
Oh, they got through, yeah.
Like 20-ish, 25-ish. To be fair, some of them didn't someone got COVID, some didn't show up, some of them were just...
Yeah. Do you remember like there was just one person who just never
in our
came?
group?
Yeah,
that
in our
was
group
like-
as well. Like.
Was working with us the entire time. As soon as it went to film, that wasn't there.
Didn't show.
Because this was kind of during still COVID-ish and everyone had to still wear masks. Like, I have behind the scenes pictures and stuff, and we're all masked up apart from you, lucky because you were acting, so you were like, we have to preserve the makeup in the face, just keep it off.
There's me just like out by the beach.
Yes, that we'll get to that. We'll get to that. That is a fun memory of mine. It's fun now.
Fun for you.
It's fun.
Fun for you.
I was also freezing, right? But I was wearing a big coat. But it was you were also wearing a big coat. It's fine.
No, but I had to like take it off with a.
Oh yeah.
So I was there just like going, trying to act like just shivering the entire time.
That's so convenient. That Zoe, if she's listening, shout out, was just like, we're gonna have you take this coat off because in the script, imagine it to be sunny, but it's freezing. Yasmin's in a coat, and the script requires her to take the coat off and become more cold. So anyway, the first day was like we all get there, we get into groups. The first day was like just like a training day or whatever.
There was no training done.
There was no training done. Do you know what we did? Nothing. There was
one scene.
I was about to say there was one shot, but I don't even think
we didn't
got
use.
it in the end. Because you know why? Do you know we have 2 lights set up here? Yep. It's not ridiculous. It's not whatever. It's not over the top. Looks fine.
Yep.
Looks fine. Lights are fine. We had a guy, I'm not going to say who, but He didn't even show up for the rest of the week. He was just like, we got to place a light under this lamppost or whatever, or like a light under this lamp.
Yeah.
Even though the light's on, we need more light from this lamp. Spent about 30 minutes trying to light the scene. And then he was like, okay, we'll just change the scene completely. And I was like, oh my God. Like,
what age is this guy?
He was like, can you bleep this? He was, and he's also a filmmaker.
So what is he like?
So they were like kind of controlling the whole thing. And I just walked over to Yasmin and was like, "You still good?" Because basically, I'll give the brief rundown. The script that Zoe wrote was about a girl dealing with the loss of her mother. Like the entire thing was grief, right? We had a lot of ideas.
A lot.
Not a lot of them were actually executed in the end because of the institution.
There was a lot of moments during that filming where like me and Arron would just give each other this look.
Yes.
Deadpan.
Yeah.
So we would be like cut, and then this is just me and Arron.
So you directed this?
That's a bold statement.
Well, is it more
Yes,
like
he
you
did.
were the director, but
in the same way that Steven Spielberg directed Ready Player One, I think it was that he's attached to it, but whether he did any work on it's very much up to
how
the
long
debate.
was it?
Like 9 minutes, what did you say?
I'd say 6.
Well, do you know what the thing is though? I've never seen the film, so I was pulling that out of my
You seen
ass.
it?
I've seen the film.
How was it?
Hard to watch.
Why didn't we make it to the...
Because you don't understand how time works, apparently.
Where were we whenever the film was being
I was
screened?
eating a chicken burger.
You went parlor. You decided. I told you.
What do you mean?
I told him.
It's like, I don't know, like
It was being shown in the
that's like James
Strand.
Gunn. That's like
It was
James
being shown
Gunn.
in the Strand.
Hey guys, where's James Gunn? He's eating a chicken burger and the
Yeah, we were
flipping.
eating chicken pub food.
I said to Aaron,
He was at a pint of Magners, and then he looked at his phone, and he was like,
because I messaged him.
yeah. He was like, hey, I think this actually starts at 6, not 8.
I said to Aaron multiple times the day before, meet me at like 6 so we can like go in together and all that. She's like, yeah.
I honestly thought you meant like going in town and get a bite to eat.
Get a chicken burger.
Well, like literally I said, right, you be there 6:30. I'm sitting down, right? I'm messaging him like, Aaron, like the film's about to start. Where are you? And he's like, I'm in parlour and I'm actually in the middle of the meal right now.
Have a drink, yeah.
You say that like it's her fault.
Do you know what the crazy thing was though? Not to pat myself in the back here,
Here we go.
but when I walked in, I was launched into Q&A.
Yeah.
Straight away?
Yeah.
It's basically so we all
Man, that's right in your mind.
mate. So basically, what happens is when we go, look, we've booked a taxi. It's going to be 20 minutes. We're going to be another 20 minutes there. We're going to be at least 40 minutes late. They were showing a collection of films. They were showing our year, the other year. There was like 4 or 5-ish films being shown, right? Didn't see any of them. By the time I got there, they had just finished. And what I didn't know is that you had just been called up.
Just, yeah.
So I go, listen, there's 20 minutes before the taxi even gets there, another 20 minutes after, another pint and a Jaeger bomb. So because there's no point in me sitting about stressing. I'm like, you know what, I gotta be chilling. I came in here like, so
I could tell you were a bit, you had a buzz. Because he like walks in, like he's like big shit. And then you see me and you were like, oh yeah, how are you, Yasmin? And like literally, like I have to stand up to do a Q&A. And I was like, just use
you were sitting down?
No, but I
were
I
you
was
gonna
getting
go up?
up to do the Q&A.
You should have gone with me.
And then you were like, what was going
No,
on?
but you're forgetting. So I am a little bit buzzed. I'm not drunk, but I'm I'm buzzed. I'm not even tipsy. I'm buzzed, right? Maybe that's the same thing, right? So you're forgetting what is said when I walk in. I walk in and Karen goes, this is in the Strand. This is a cinema in the Strand. I walk in and all I hear is, there he is. And I go.
Dressed by Foreman as well, like you were in like a.
This is what I was dressed like.
Yeah.
So and
You look like a drunk fucker. Like
I'm not drunk. I'm sober.
But you look like you're just like, he's walking in.
I was kind of just not like on a shirt and tie, but I was in good clothes.
Yeah.
What you might expect a young director to be.
Yes.
Director. Do you know what? I do direct some films, not this one, right? Which way is this? Does this sound better now? No. Which way? Other way? You sure? I don't even know. Actually, I think it sounds better this way. Yeah, it sounds far better this way. Anyway, my funny half hour. We get to is that still recording by the way? Love.
Harry started like
Love that one so much. There he is. I walk in and I'm going, I look behind me. I'm like, Sam, is this for you? Or is this, oh, you didn't work. Oh, no, it is for me. I'm like, okay, so she is talking about me. And I just walk in and like, the cinema, it's not full, but it's there is it's pretty much full of like,
it's full, like
friends, family of the other people as well, the other year who I have no idea who they are. And I walk in and I'm like scanning and I see Jack, I see Rowan at the front, and I see, who else did I see? Zoe wasn't there. These names are relevant to the people listening. But I see our I see two of our team up there, and I'm like, yes. I walk by and I'm like, Yasmin's there. But I walk in, she's like, there he is, and I'm like, oh, and I literally just sit out and I'm like, oh, because I'm a bit buzzed. Sorry for being late. I thought this started at 8.
in front of everybody, like this.
But people loved it.
I just remember I made it so I walked in and I'm like, there's Yasmin. I'm like, you alright? And I'm like, where are we going down the front? Like, Yasmin doesn't follow me, so I come down.
Yeah, because it was only supposed to be, I think, like 2 or 3 people for the Q&A. So I was like, just you go. You've got the crowd.
And I walk on in and I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I probably almost said, I'm like, oh, I was just having stuff on the face of myself in parlour there. Walk in and I'm handed a mic, and for the next 5-6 minutes I talk about a film that to this day I have never seen.
Waffle the entire time.
Waffle. I made it like a joke about Avatar and everything. Like I was like,
it went down really well.
I was like, oh, because I was talking about like, they were like, what have you done since? And I was like, well, actually, really coincidentally, me and Yasmin, because of this program, have worked together and we've made a wee film, and it's doing really well. Just passed Avatar in the box office. An uproar of laughter.
Like literally it's acting like
and
it's
maybe
I stood up, clapped.
There was one kid who did a backflip. I was that's a bit excessive. Do you know what it was though? Maybe because I was a bit buzzed. I think everyone was enjoying it more than I was. Yeah. And I'm going, probably if I was sober, I'd be like, nobody's getting this. Anyway, and then I just talked about like, if you noticed, if it was recorded, thank God it wasn't. If it was recorded, you would notice me talk about everything behind the scenes and not from the actual film. Because I'm like, because at one point I go, there's a scene in the film, which I'm sure you've seen there on the big screen. I didn't, but you know, I'm sure you've seen it where Yasmin's on the beach. That is probably we talk about that, because that is, apart from we did interior and exterior filmmaking, obviously. So in the interior stuff, which is annoying because of like everyone trying to have too much of an input, and no harm. I was also 2 years younger, so I didn't have the kind of, not the kind of balls, but like for me to kind of just stand up and be like, because I'm a bit louder now and I'm a bit like,
I can tell.
I'm a bit more, not to say cheeky.
Cheeky,
but if I want something that I know how I want it, I'm gonna ask for it. You know, and we're not gonna leave until we get it. You know.
Do you remember I got attacked by a dog and that's it?
The crazy.
Yeah, I got like a dog was fucking
mauled to death. Like.
Yeah, I'm a victim here.
Yeah, but do you know what the thing is though? We had a nice moment with that dog.
We did. That was a separate dog.
Was it?
Do you remember I got attacked by that one dog, then we found the nice dog?
Oh, man, it's too many dogs. That's it. Like, sorry for your loss, but there was like, there was a lot of dogs, and that's it. One dog.
Bitches.
Train of thought there just left the station.
Yeah.
Left the station. And we got like a shot of Yasmin playing with this dog and stuff, whatever. Didn't put it in. As far as I'm aware. I mean, maybe they did, but I didn't see it.
Because we actually got some good
like
shots from a shitty, basically.
Yeah, the entire film is like, oh, she's annoyed, and then she sees flashbacks when she's younger, and we brought a girl up from Cork to do it. Like, we hired her.
Bless her, like.
Mate, she was like 5, and she was like having to ride a bike and stuff.
Serious?
And like, and I did like, do you know, that was the one time that I was like, working with a child actor, so I was like, oh, do you mind, like, we're gonna do this and stuff, whatever. And then the Yasmin, I was like, you just get this thing done, okay? Like, there was a clear difference in how I was like. There's also a difference in how we would do a scene now as opposed to like then. But like, and I was like, in this scene, you know, you're really sad. Like, it's, you know, it is about the lost your mother and all, you know, and you gotta just, you know, do whatever you want to, like, whatever you channel the emotion. Now I'm like, would you just do it? Yeah, we just get it done. We'll go home for a pint. Like, that is it's real. Like, it's just like
that was Whirly Bird.
Whirly Bird was lethal.
That is the most Aaron Gurley thing ever.
What?
They're like, Hey, I directed this film. It's been shown in the Strand Cinema, but I'm eating a chicken burger.
I ain't coming. Like,
of a chicken burger. Yeah, but anyway, so like
they didn't even get to come and see the film. The girl from Cork.
Yes, because she lives in Cork.
She didn't get, no, but she didn't even get sent the film. I don't think she got anything.
It's not available to the public at all.
No.
I think should be. Do you know John Malkovich in 2015 or whatever it was did a film called 100 Years?
And yes,
and it's not going to be shown until 100 years time. It's going to be awful. That film that we have should be called 1,000 Years, and it should not be shown.
It should be called non-existent.
Yeah.
The film should be called Drag to the Bin and Delete.
It should be shown in 3021 is when it should be shown as like a what not to do. I mean, if the world's still about anyway. Mental. Like, so we get there, blah 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 blah. Talk about the scene in Yasmin on the beach. There's a scene in Yasmin on the beach at the end of the film where she's like, she's not over the fact that her man's dead, but she's past the initial whatever, and she sees through the flashbacks of remembering her all the nice emotions, nice time she had with her. She's like looking forward to the future is what I would say at the end of it. Yeah. At least maybe that's what the film looks like. I don't know. Mental, crazy, mental, so weird. Like, and but like at the end of it, like. She was like takes her like it's her mum's coat, wasn't it? Like it was she's wearing her mum's coat the entire time. It's very it's like symbolic. She's like you know to get into the snobbery of it. She's wearing her mum's coat and then she takes her mum's coat off as like I love you, mum, but I don't need you anymore. And the weight on literally the weight of my shoulders is gone now. The heavens opened for that scene. The Lord simply said, "Thou shall not get this scene done." So fine, and like. Do you
remember it was like because where we were shooting it was like a 10-minute walk for shelter basically.
From like base to the.
So if you imagine it starts pissing, we've got like expensive equipment.
We have like camera equipment that's like 20 times worth of my car.
It's expensive shit, like
combined, like plus insurance. Like I'm just going, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I remember like. We were taking our coats off. We were just like
covering it,
walking up in the freezing rain, like drenched.
Yeah, like running. Like
what day was this?
The third day, which was our last day of filming, which is why we had to add this fourth day.
Yeah, because we were.
And it's Charlotte Yasmin basically. Imagine if Yasmin's like there, like looking that way. It wasn't, but imagine looking that way. The rain starts a little bit trickling, but the camera's that good that it's not going to matter, right? It gets a little bit heavier, and heavier. And I'm really holding it because I'm like, I know I don't think
you're like, if we don't get it now,
you always joke about it and I always joke about it too. I haven't justified my reasoning for it. I've held that shot for way longer than I had to, knowing it probably was unusable, but also knowing there's a million things going through my head going, it's our last day, it's our last shot. We still have loads of exterior stuff to do. This wasn't even the last shot. Like we ended up having to change the entire location of the scene, and the scene works fine. I imagine I haven't seen it, but
it works.
I remember. I know Zoe, the writer, she wasn't happy about the change in the scene, but I kind of said there, "What's her this? You got nothing." So, I think it was fine.
It was just like you could see. I wish I still had the raw footage on my laptop because I just had to edit some of it. Yeah. You can just see like me just losing the will to live because like
I want that so badly.
There's just the wind and like rain in my eyes.
Face. It's coming and like it's not even going like this way. It's
like
coming
straight in my eyes. So I'm just like,
and then
this is the entire shot.
And then like Yasmin literally turns into the camera and is like, I think you're like Arron, and I'm like, cut. Yeah, everyone cut and wrap. I was like, I think I said cut and run. I was like, and like we like covered the camera whatever because we couldn't find an SD card. Shambles is basically SD cards there worth about $1,000, like everything. Shooting for
ridiculous
Ultra HD 4K every minute's like a terabyte. They had to back them up every second. Ridiculous.
Awful.
But we did some stuff that we enjoyed a year later, and it was all good.
Did you enjoy it?
Whirlybird, I love Whirlybird.
No, sorry, I thought you meant.
Whirlybird was good crack. Like, do you know why? Do you know why I think all film sets should do this? If you don't know anybody, you all do the first sort of day together. And then you just go get blocked. Just go get absolutely blocked. Actually, was it the first day?
It was the first day, yeah.
Yeah, you go get absolutely blocked the first day, absolutely cream crackered, right? Get to know everybody when you're shouting, when you're just slurring, when you're saying random stuff, and you're going, and then the next day you come back in, you're like, oh, you were a bit of crack last night? let's get this scene done and do it again.
Yeah.
It's just
we went out a few weeks ago. Me, you, Ryan,
where's this going?
Yeah.
and the insanity. Like
I
just
think I know what this is.
the insanity. Like you get a certain level of alcohol in you. And then you just turn into like a raging, insane mental patient and just scream whatever. And it's usually about genitals, I'll be honest. It's usually about genitals and sucking this and the other thing, you know. And now Ryan's no better. He's wearing a hat and spoons and it's about 30 degrees, but you know, it's going to be another time.
No, it was a beanie.
Yeah, it's big.
Wearing a big
Big
warm
with a
beanie
big-
and spoons.
With a big skeleton giving a middle finger.
Spoiling.
Oh, Arron had got to a certain stage where he was a bit, a bit more than a buzz, and he went to the toilet, and he had a big jug of Blue Lagoon.
Oh, mate. Worst. This is the worst crack ever.
Listen.
Worst crack ever. See if this happened to you, lad, you'd do the exact same thing that I did.
I don't think I personally would have.
No, because you're a wee bitch. Sam would do the exact same thing. Sam knows how much a good jug is worth.
Oh,
yes, but I think this is just
Too well.
So, I went to the toilet. He came back and his jug was gone.
No.
And
Bad crack. It's bad. It's bad etiquette. It's complete bad etiquette. Is what it is.
you were gonna get it back. Ryan had taken it.
How did I know that? I was on a different planet.
He just came back. He saw Joe was on. He's jumping to conclusions.
Mate.
Ryan had it like under the table, just sitting.
Do you know what he was trying to do? He was trying to impress a few.
Yes, he
women.
was. Ryan was trying to
Trying to
impress.
impress a few women.
Ryan was trying to impress.
Pretty woman.
Yeah. Ryan was trying to impress a few females. No.
On the pill.
What?
What? Oh, the
pill.
I thought you said
Okay.
on the pill.
Yeah.
No, on the pill.
I don't know.
Ryan was on the pill.
I was on the pill. So Bama Llama. The producer of the Dolecast is taking contraceptive. Ryan Hill's on the pill.
It's
so stupid.
was trying to. Do you know the most extreme riz? He was speaking to this one girl.
Oh my, yes! Wait, finish the joke story first. Finish the joke story.
Okay.
I just remember.
Arron had his coat off. And he came back and his jug wasn't there. And it was quite obvious Ryan had taken it.
Not to me.
Apparently not.
But
I went, as he just gave this to a server or something?
it was obvious that Ryan had done something with it.
Yeah. Because he couldn't hide his little smiles, little devious little smiles, little beady eyes.
And Arron was like, give me it back right now. And Ryan was like, Ryan was like, I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. And I was like, give me it back right now. I was like, give me back the jug right now. And Ryan was still just,
He didn't budge.
don't know what you're talking about.
And I turned to you.
And then just puts his jacket on, puts his coat back on, turns to me and just goes, see you later. And like there was two people except myself. I was, excuse me, get away. Like, I'm going home. And I said to him, like, you're obviously joking. Like, you're not leaving. You're like, no, I'm leaving. And I can see the jug on the table. I'm like, just give. And a similar situation. He eventually got it back. And he eventually came back and he took his coat off. But he was definitely for leaving.
What did I whisper into your ear?
I
think I said, like, you'll pay for that or something.
And he just said, yeah, he gave back. And I just whispered in my ear, he will pay for that.
I love Arron when he's drunk. I absolutely love.
I do and I don't. And you started and someone arrives and you just smack the table, but like
Such a lot, like
all the entire table moved. And I'm sure like
just heavy
lost your mind. Like,
heavy arm.
like, but it was like we were just chatting away about something, and then 2 seconds later, I was just bang, and I was like the whole table moved. And I was like, are you serious? And then
Parlour has sturdier tables and spoons, I will say.
yeah.
Spoons is a high viscosity. Small size they can do it. And then yes, and then there was another situation where Ryan took Arron's straw.
This is even worse crack.
I can't remember the full. It was just like
He just picked it out of the thing, and I went, "Who is this impressing?" Because it's not the two girls beside you. It's not.
Anyway,
I was going to say that. I was going to be like,
his Riz was.
Can we talk about his Riz?
Ryan
Hill and the Riz.
Sitting across from Ryan.
This is ridiculous. You will not believe
like
it.
Ryan, if you're listening, We're not sour.
No, not stubborn. We're just saying this Riz has never ever been tried before.
Yeah, it's newfound
I'm
Riz.
intrigued.
It's newfound Riz.
If you want to call it.
Unconventional.
Ryan.
Unconventional Riz, sure.
Ryan Rizzle. He was sitting beside this girl, and I was sitting across, and
I only.
Arron was so drunk that he was on another planet. Anything I was,
I was slobbering Hannah Young.
anything,
That's what I was doing.
okay.
Yeah.
yeah. So anything I was getting was just a slur or a swear word.
Wait.
Not a slur. Not a slur.
Didn't that say that?
It was just a swear or just something with genitals or something like that. And
As per.
I was like, well, the only thing I can do then is sort of turn
Talk to Ryan. And you join in Ryan's conversation.
And I turned to Ryan and I just heard, yeah, I produced the podcast.
No.
Basically, I stand behind the cameras.
And I was like,
See if you talk to me in that sort of language again.
and I just sort of thought,
You to get out of this office right now.
And
I heard it and I was like, should I not?
Let me
And then
guess, did it work?
No.
Did it
No,
work?
no.
And
what do you think? The Dolecast works?
and I was like,
Put it on my CV.
and he was like, yeah, it's Dan's podcast, and I sort of sit behind the cameras and I sort of make sure everything's working well. Yeah, produce it. And I
Crazy.
and I sat there and I was like, well,
Oh my god.
fair enough.
Yeah, mental.
And
Completely mental.
but it was one of those things you saw, and I went, we're not exactly Joe Rogan,
You lied. A girl was like, "Oh, how many monthly listeners haven't you?" Like 10,000.
Yeah. Oh, she asked me. I was like, yeah, but 10,000. We're lucky if we crack 100 views on YouTube.
Like they're hardly gonna
TikTok
check
though. TikTok
Oh,
loves
the
us.
TikTok exploded.
TikTok loves us.
Exploded.
TikTok loves us when we
yes.
talk about a big girl.
Talking about. I look at the
Gorlock was.
Yes.
I had a clue what you was wrong about.
Because we're,
no one had a
you know.
clue.
Maybe should we have? Is that? Do you reckon that's why we're not like? Should we have to tone our accents down?
No, I think the only thing we would do maybe is subtitle the clips. But that just takes me an extra hour and a half.
And you also don't
Yeah.
want to subtitle ones that get no views.
Yeah, exactly.
And part of the charm is.
This just died, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah, so the TikTok blew up and got.
it's on 140 right now.
Did you just check it out now?
No.
All right. It is on
Professor X. 146 or something. Isn't it?
149.8 thousand views.
That's
The most we've ever blown up.
Oh yeah,
100%.
and no one's really slabbering about us.
it's just
No,
it's
the-
just the accent, isn't it? Is that what everyone
Yeah,
says in the
it's
comments?
not even really sad, but they've just been like, yeah, it's a difficult accent to understand, which it is.
Which I understand.
It is,
Yes, there was
absolutely.
one of them like, did he say Bowser? And I was like,
Then I watched it back and I was like,
Yeah, well, Bowser's.
that's so clear.
What do they want us to
Yeah,
say?
say
Like
it 4
Bowser,
times.
like,
yeah,
you know,
Bowser.
Yeah.
Bowser, like
What the heck
Bowser.
are you talking about?
Bowser's fun, more fun to say than I said to say funner.
Absolute Bowser.
My English is going like,
But yeah, no. Well, thank you to everyone that watched that.
no.
And if you're new from the TikTok,
If by any chance,
I
hello.
hope you've enjoyed all the chat about Chico Ramone and
Chico
producer Ryan's.
And maybe we'll have Yasmin back on next time to actually talk about her Formula 1 experience.
No, Chico Ramone, the sequel.
No, I'll
Chico Ramone,
get
the
a
chicken egg.
contact with Chico Ramone
Mate,
and bring him on. Is that alright?
If you meet Chico Ramone in Las
Bring
Vegas,
on the real Chico.
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I'll try and get a contact number
The
for
Chico
you
Ramone
guys.
Who
story.
is Chico Ramone?
There's a character in there. Like, there's a sketch in there.
I don't know if there is.
Epstein Island, Chico Ramone.
No, you can't. But
You get
you can't be doing that
Chico
now.
Ramone.
Anyway,
Drive to Thrive.
was there anything else you wanted to say before we...
Well, no, just go and listen to Yasmin
Yes,
podcast,
no.
Closing the Gap.
Was there anything else
and-
you wanted to say? I was just saying anything you were saying about Ryan's Riz and then...
Oh, no. Right, I mean, it didn't extend very far.
Anything you want to talk about in the car last night?
No.
Anything you want to talk about, Yasmin?
just, follow me, I guess.
Follow Yasmin.
Follow me, I've got more content.
Her Instagram
plans,
in the
so-
description.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm about to be told off. But
If you're new, maybe you have come from the TikTok clip, subscribe, keep listening if you enjoyed. If not, that's fine.
I probably won't be back next week. I'll be finding a body floating down the river.
What?
Hmm?
So
Chico. What?
that's right. Okay.
Sometimes you just let your intrusive thoughts.
That's
away.
right. Don't worry about it. Yeah, subscribe. Everyone's Instagrams are in the description. Thank you to Sam for producing this week.
Love.
Riz
Thanks.
Do you want to
Ryan.
shout out anything, Sam, quickly?
Yeah. Your band?
Quickly. Yes, shout out your band straight into the
We
mic.
have a gig coming up in the Sunflower. May 27th. This is Saturday.
Future podcast guest, perhaps?
Yes.
Yes, been there.
If this is
Buy
up,
tickets is £7. 3 lovely bands playing, including mine.
love.
Great entertainment, I've heard.
When is this going to be up? Before the 27th.
Oh, it'll be this week at some point.
Love. Link in the description as well. It's just like we'll link
there's an
everyone.
Eventbrite. Just
We'll link everything.
Yeah.
if you're in the Belfast area, and
Go
you
see
look down
Sam's
to the
band and
27th,
supporting us as well. Love. Maybe and then we'll have his on as well.
Yeah.
Sweet Neptune on Instagram. Go. You have a lot of links to put in.
At Sweet Neptune Band.
At Sweet Neptune Band on Instagram. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for listening to this episode of Dolecast. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Yasmin, for coming on.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next episode with flipping probably Ben Davison or something.
Join us
Goodbye.
next time when Ryan Hill talks about his Dolecast race.
Won't be a very long conversation.
32nd episode. 68. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.